Welcome to Create Income with or without a job. I'm Jamila Harris, your Create Income coach, and the price of eggs is ridiculous. This video is quick, sweet, and simple. I'm part of the hashtag Jar It Up for January, sponsored by GT Junior Grows It Alaska and Whole New Perspective. So really and truly, you have to go to Homestead Heart. Homestead Heart. YouTube Homestead Heart. She is the canning queen. And so I'm following her recipe for pickling eggs. I am now learning to beat the price of eggs by pickling them. You can pickle and you keep them in the refrigerator, but better yet, you can pickle them and then can them. And you water bath can the eggs in a brine. What you're seeing there is an orange, it's a brine, a homemade brine that I made with her recipe. You got to go to Homestead Heart for the recipe for the brine, which is vinegar and water and lots of seasonings. And then that's what you see these hard-boiled eggs in. And then I'm going to use my pressure cooker to water bath can. Water bath can. I'm not canning in the pressure cooker. I'm water bath canning. The reason I'm using my pressure cooker is because the pot is deep enough. Because when you water bath can, you have to cover the jars completely with water. Again, check out Homestead Heart about all the details for water bath canning. You might notice a quick little trick I used in the bottom of my pot. You see, those are canning rings. Those are the rings you normally put on the jars. And I've got them connected by zip ties, because I did not have something to go down in the bottom of my pressure cooker that would keep the jars up off the bottom. So this is just a little tip that I learned from watching some other YouTube creators. If you don't have the actual little basket for to sit down into, you can improvise. So I'm not going to put the pressure cooker top and close it and seal it when I'm water bath canning these. I'm just going to set the pressure cooker top on top. So here's to hashtag Jar It Up, GT Junior Alaska, Grows It Alaska, and Whole New Perspective. Now what I'm going to do is just ladle in more of the brine that I made. Now, you know when you're canning, you have your canning tools. So I'm just going to ladle in some more of the brine to literally that 1-inch headspace on the top of the jar. That 1-inch headspace is right there. All right. And then I'm going to do the same on this other jar. I only had enough eggs on hand to make 2 jars to can. I have one other jar that I'm going to put in the fridge. Homestead Heart gives a great tip. She says if your eggs, after you boil them, if you have any problems with your eggs, any imperfections, don't put them in the canner. Now I already had my lids, my ball jar lids here. I warmed them a little. I'm going to put the lid on each one. These are new lids, never used before, so that they can have a clean seal. I already wiped these, the top of these jars. I already wiped them down with vinegar, okay? You also always want to wipe your lids down with vinegar before you put them on. And then now I'm going to put my rings on. Just fingertip, close to the fingertip. All right. And now I'm going to lower my jars into my water bath canner, which today happens to be my pressure cooker. Okay, I'm gonna have to add a little more water. You have to make sure when you're water bath canning, the top of the jar must be completely submerged in water. There we go. All right, putting the two of them in there. Submerge them in water. All right. So now the recipe from Homestead Heart calls for these jars, water bath canning. Again, I'm not going to close my pressure cooker. I'm just going to turn on the heat. And those should process once they get to a boil, then for 15 minutes. Once the water in the water bath canner is boiling, then you set your timer for 15 minutes to process it. And I look forward to the next video where I can share with you guys how those came out. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you two other tricks. If you repurpose jars that you're not going to use for canning, you're not using repurposed jars in a canner, but you can repurpose jars for things when you're going to put them in the fridge. And so these two eggs that had some imperfections, I simply put the brine on them, and I'm going to put this into the fridge. The suggestion is by Homestead Heart. She says let them stay in the back of your fridge somewhere where you can't see them for at least 2 weeks to let all the delicious seasonings that you put in there seep into them. And then they're ready to eat. So I'm Jamila Harris. Hey, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, Create Income Coach. And we are trying to help people with our books, Create Income with or without a job. We help people decide what side hustles work. We help people with transitional budgets when they have no income. We help you in these tough financial times to find new ways to save money, keep money, make money. So this is one of our answers to beating the high cost of eggs. I'm Jamila Harris. Thanks for tuning in.